On this episode of the podcast, Lance admits that he's a stunt ass on the new season of The Boys.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started, a life is a dream.
You're locked into a brand new episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Lance.
Hey, we're back again. Missing a couple of weeks.
Guess who's back? Back again.
Shady's back. Tell some men.
He is back.
He is.
Have
One last ride.
How many? Is it the last? Like, is it done? Is he done?
I mean, I don't know if he's done, but I mean, Death of some Shady coup de grace is pretty on the head, huh?
Yeah. Well, and it could be a Blink-182 thing. Like, their album was called One More Time, and we all thought, like, oh, this is the end. And they come out and said, no, it's not the end. It's just the name of the album. So hopefully that's the case. Dude, I've listened to it probably not as many times as you have, but I think I've listened to it like 3 times all the way through. And it came out
Let me
last
clarify.
night, midnight.
I've listened to the album itself 2 times through. All right.
Okay.
I've listened to the song Temporary about 15 times.
That song is incredible.
Temporary and Somebody Save Me with Jelly Roll are like my 2 favorite songs in the album.
Yeah, it's so I'm just gonna we're not a music podcast, but you know me, I love talking about music just in general, but there's a couple things I noticed with this album that I thought were really like pushing the envelope, I guess you could say. The fact that he is using
doesn't murder his ex-wife in any of the songs,
but he's using anti-woke rhetoric to be woke and defeat wokeness. Does that make sense? Like,
well, yeah,
so
because
he is so
they were
explicit.
trying to cancel him, so he's like trying to cancel himself before they can cancel him. Like,
but it's cool because it's at the same time, like, I don't know, it's a totally different way of looking at this whole environment that we're in of wokeness, right? And I believe that there's a place for sometimes being woke, I guess, but it's just a totally different way to attack it, man. It's like, he's like, I dare you to try and cancel me because I don't give a fuck about what anybody thinks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to say this shit and I know it's wrong and I don't believe most of what I'm saying but I'm saying it to piss you off. Right? Because he says stuff about transgenders and then goes, I don't care what you do. And then goes on and says stuff about handicapped people. And he's like, hey, but you're people too. Like, it's like, so
he makes fun of us. He makes fun of the fatties.
Yeah. Makes fun of he tells his own kids to fuck off.
Yeah.
Which who hasn't wanted to say that a few times in their life? But, and what's cool is the whole album is like this multiple personality. Like, you have the Slim Shady, and then you have Marshall Mathers, Eminem, what he is today. Kind of the whole album is like dialogue between these two.
There's even a song
battling
like
with 2 sides.
Yeah, they're like battling each other.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. And so for a while I thought maybe like back when Slim Shady came out in the Eminem show, up until that point, I think.
the Slim Shady LP.
Well, all those ones before Eminem show. So Slim Shady's LP, Marshall Mathers EP, I think.
No, it's LP.
Is it LP?
Yeah.
He had like that whiny voice, right? It was kind of a higher pitch, higher register.
He's also younger.
Voice. That's what I always thought, is because he was younger. But he's able to pull it out, no problem, to like differentiate that it's 2 different voices. Do you know what I mean? Like in Houdini's a perfect example. There's points where he raps the old way he used to rap at that higher register and then at the lower register, and it's giving you I kind of equate it to like when you read your kid children's book and you're making all the voices for all the different characters in the book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of lively it up for him. I found it amazing that he's able to call back to that higher register voice, because I thought it was youth. But now I think he just maybe changed his style a little bit.
Well, yeah, he went from more of that like goofy rap that he
To
used
like
to do
gangsta.
to, I wouldn't say gangster, but to more like diss track style rap. If you really want to think of it, because a lot of his songs were like taking shots at people, and now he's kind of back to that again, his old stuff. But I had my buddy ask me today. He said, I'm hearing great things about the new Eminem album, and I was like, I've listened to it already. I really enjoy it. And he's like, is it like his old stuff? And I was like, kind of, but like to me, peak Eminem is like, if you listen back to his Infinite, I want to call it a mixtape, but Infinite album, and then like peak for me is like Slim Shady LP, Marshall Mathers, Eminem Show. That's like peak Eminem for me.
Eminem Show is like the tippy top peak for me, because that has Cleaning Out My Closet, that has Stan, that has
that's Eminem Show. Yeah, sorry, I think that's Marshall Mathers LP has all those songs.
Eminem Show has Cleaning Out My Closet, doesn't it? I just listened to
Cleaning
it the
Out
other
My
day.
Closet. Eminem Show.
It has America,
White
Cleaning
America.
Out My Closet, Closet.
Cleaning Out My Closet.
The closet.
But like Eminem Show, or sorry, God damn it, the Marshall Mathers LP has Stan, The Way I Am, The Real Slim Shady, Killing You, Kim, which is one of like the most like controversial songs.
That song's been floating around TikTok like crazy lately. Like Gen Z kids listening to it with like mouth agape, or however you would say, you know what I mean? Like how
like they're offended by it.
Yeah, there's a few that are like, wow, this is hard, because they can see the metaphor in it, I guess you could say. Like he's not actually talking about killing his wife, but it's like he's being explicit and just like talking about, like, no one was feared that he's gonna kill Kim, right? No one, when that song came out, was like, hey, somebody check on Eminem or Kim, because this guy's gonna go murder her. Like nobody took it seriously at the time it came out.
Yeah.
But it just showed like disdain for her, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these kids now take things way too literally. Hence the word that he uses quite often in this new album, gay. They take it too literally, right? We used to say it all the time in the 90s. And
it's not PC now.
Yeah, and that's fine. I think it's a dumb word anyways, but Eminem Show, dude. Square Dance, Soldier, which he calls back to in that Temporary song, Soldier. Oh no, wait. Does when he says stand up, little soldier, is that in Soldier? Is that in Mockingbird?
That's in Mockingbird.
Okay. See, dude,
That's
I
another
know
fantastic song.
I know my fucking Eminem, dude. Like I fucking like when Houdini came out, especially, dude, I have been on a tear of just listening to Eminem repeatedly. And he kind of lost me a little bit there. Like he kind of gave me back with Kamikaze. I thought that was pretty good, but like with Relapse and was it Recovery? Was that the other one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it kind of lost me a little bit. But Kamikaze was fucking awesome. And Kamikaze, I think, is the one that pays homage to the Beastie Boys, right? The cover.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. I've always been an Eminem fan. And I've always liked how much he's pushed the envelope. And that's always the kind of rappers that I'm going to, or hip hop artists. I don't know. Is rapper even a correct term?
For
rapper? Well, rapper just makes...
He's the greatest of all time, son.
No, but like rapper to me seems like cotton candy, whereas hip hop seems like Like it's like like pop rock and rock and roll. You know what I mean? Like rapper seems so I don't
He's a
know.
rapper.
I know he's a rapper, but that's a question I've always wanted to ask some of these guys. Would you prefer to be called a rapper or a hip hop artist? Which one, or is hip hop the one that's like seems too cute? You know what I mean?
I think hip hop is the more the rapper to me just sounds like a tougher term than hip hop. Being like hip hop artist is like to me is where you get like very bubblegummy or
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? I don't know which one it is. See, my mind goes to rapper sounding the more bubblegummy. Yours goes to hip hop. So,
yeah.
but whatever. I went off on something that didn't matter. But I always the ones that I gravitate towards are the ones that are pushing the envelope and doing shit that's maybe not seen as mainstream at the time. Like Eminem broke ceilings, right? I mean, hip hop had a ceiling and Eminem shattered it, right? He's the only rapper to sell like a billion or what was the record he had? I just watched something about that he and Dr. Dre did on the Napster stuff, and they were talking
Uh-huh.
about Eminem being the only rapper to ever have so many hit number one singles or something like that. Like he kind of changed that genre. Like you see him, he's like the pendulum shit swing. You know what I mean? Whereas they always had this cap, and they were always trying to break above that cap. And you saw little instances of it, like when Run DMC played with Aerosmith, right?
But
Or
I think they go hand in hand though, because rap all rap is hip hop, but not all hip hop is rap. If
yeah,
you
and
really want to break it down.
I'm not that much of a connoisseur, so I have no idea.
Well, I mean, but like I think hip hop is like the overall culture, and then rap is just part of that. I don't know. I don't want to talk about music because I don't know shit about it. I just listen to it. I don't get that deep into it. But I'm just
But
saying, like,
Eminem made the genre more accessible, right?
yeah.
Because they were playing him on like hit stations, right? Like he kind of was
Well,
just
because
this.
he's a white artist in a predominantly, African American
Yeah, we can't
scene.
discount that, right? Like
Right.
it's a shame that was needed. But if you remember, Vanilla Ice was obviously
Oh
not as
my
hard
god.
as Eminem, but Vanilla
Dun,
Ice
dun,
was
dun,
kind
dun,
of,
dun, dun, ch.
if you look at the two, Vanilla Ice could have been that like that pendulum swing, right? But Vanilla Ice was always looked at like kind of a joke, right? I don't think Vanilla Ice is and his music was ever really taken seriously. Like, oh, this is a serious artist. You know what I mean? Like Eminem
I
was,
think,
and Eminem
yeah,
was
no,
cracking
I
jokes
mean,
and stuff.
yeah.
I think a big part of it had Eminem. You had Eminem standing there with Dr. Dre behind him. You know what I mean? Dr. Dre, who was kind of this pinnacle in the in the scene or whatever you want to call it. Like Dr. Dre is one of the godfathers of this genre, right? And he signed off on Eminem, and even he had to convince some people were still on the fence. Like, look at this white boy singing or rapping or whatever. I
Well,
think
that's the
that's
thing.
the difference between him and Vanilla Ice.
Growing up, in Detroit, in Michigan, dude, like you didn't hear about Eminem until he got with Dre. Like if you weren't in like the battle rap scene and all that, like you really didn't hear about it. Like it was ICP and Kid Rock. It wasn't
Yeah,
until Dre and M and Dre hooked up that M blew up. But it was like, he ran really much into the battle rap scene because there's those two different scenes. There's like the performance side of it where you do rap, and then where you grind, and then there's the battle rap scene, and that's where
yeah, it was like straight
like
underground.
8 Mile. That's pretty much where he hung out. And then, like I said, growing up there, people really talked about Kid Rock and ICP, and then once Eminem hit with Dre, then he blew up, and he became,
And Kid
the
Rock,
leader of the conversation.
because I remember when Kid Rock came out, right? Kid Rock was never taken seriously, right? As rock or rap, right? He was kind of looked as like this novelty. Because what do you have, Bob with a Ba or whatever? Was that his song?
Cowboy and
Is that what it's called? So he was always kind of looked at as like a joke. ICP was on the other side, where ICP, the people that listened to them, other people thought they were dangerous, right? I think, was it in California that juggalos were declared like a gang,
I don't know where that was.
but
I think
they're looked at as like a gang of like,
yeah,
serious gang.
the
But
Hatchet Man.
yeah, so Eminem was that first, like, because I'm looking at this article right here, right? Listen to these records that he's broken, right? So Rap God sets the record for most words in one hit single, right? Then he was the artist with the highest selling albums in the first half of the 21st century. Okay. A rap artist, a hip hop artist, or whatever you want to call it. Like, he had the most albums sold in the beginning of this century, of the 21st century, right? Fastest selling rapper of all time with Marshall Mathers LP. He was the fastest selling rapper of all time in the 2000s, thanks to the Blockbuster success. So there's that. Then most successive U.S. albums to debut at #1 by a solo artist. Most entries jumped on Billboard Hot 100 chart for a rapper. Most certified artists for singles in RIAA Gold and Platinum history. Largest vocabulary, who cares? Fastest rapper of all time. I don't know what some of this stuff. I don't know how they get to that, but there's sales milestones that he hit that were at one point seen as unattainable for this kind of genre, right? If you weren't the Beatles or Elton John or Michael Jackson, right? Like, you saw these names. There was pop music and rock music kind of dominated everything, and then for a short while there was country music, right? Garth Brooks and all those. Garth Brooks was himself breaking down barriers, right? And for Eminem to do what he did and bring it into the mainstream, that's why hip hop I think is the most successful genre right now.
I don't know. I like I said, I'm not gonna talk too much on this because I don't know shit about this, and I'm not gonna pretend like I do. I can just see the comments now. Look at these two white boys talking about something they don't understand. And that's if people actually watch this show, then those comments would come. But
I hope it's not taken as I'm trying to talk about rap music. What I'm trying to talk about
no. That's not how I'm taking them. I'm just saying in general, like
music industry
these
general.
Boys are trying to talk like they know hip hop or music, and they don't know nothing. I'm just like, I don't know anything. You're right. I don't know nothing about this.
I'm not.
I know I like his music.
I know
I've liked his music since I was a teenager. What can I tell you?
But did you really listen to hip hop before that? I mean, you grew up in Detroit, so maybe it was more accessible to you, right?
Did I listen to LL Cool J and Wu-Tang Clan and Beastie Boys, and I mean, I listened to an Outkast, and I mean, I listened to a good amount of
was
hip-hop
Outkast
and rap.
before Eminem? Sorry, Miss Jackson. What album's that from? It's from.
They're not. I mean, they're not before Eminem as far as like that song. I don't believe, but they've been around since 1992.
Bombs Over Baghdad, isn't that like their first big one that was like mainstream?
Yeah, but like you're talking like.
So Atlians, or however you say that. I know it's Atlanta. Is it Atlians? We came out in 96.
Yeah.
Eminem's first big album.
The Eminem show, or not Eminem show, but goddamn it, the Slim Shady LP would be his first like massive album,
which came out in 97. Yeah, the Slim Shady EP in 97. So, but even then, like Bombs Over Baghdad didn't do anywhere of like what My Name Is did.
No, because yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Andre 3000 is on my Mount Rushmore as far as like artists are concerned. I mean, the dude just fucking came out with a flute album. Did you hear about this?
No.
Andre 3000 came out with an album. I downloaded it. It has nothing to do, like, it's so out of left field. Comes out with an album that's just him playing the flute. No words. He's just playing the flute. And it's like 7 or 8 songs. It's like contemporary jazz feeling type music, not hip hop at all. I mean, Andre 3000 is by all definition like a true musician. The dude's fucking awesome.
I predominantly listened to rap and hip hop, like Eminem, Tupac, 50, Dre, you know, NWA, Lil Wayne, Biggie, Ludacris, like, you know, fucking roll out with a massive song when we were teenagers, and Nas, and
you grew up on the East Coast. I grew up on the West Coast, and I think that was different here than it was East Coast because you were close to like New York. You're from Detroit, you know what I mean? Atlanta was a big hip hop scene. Growing up in Arizona, like everybody listened to like punk rock, you know what I mean? And it was rock music. Like,
well, I mean, don't get me wrong, I had my phase there too. Like I listened to Blink, I listened to Sum 41, I listened to Simple Plan, I listened to Dashboard Confessional, I listened to, you know, so many Papa Roach, Stained, Limp Bizkit.
I think that stuff was more prominent here than the hip hop stuff.
What else? Who else?
Korn,
absolutely Korn. Slipknot, you know, Puddle of Mud. Like my music genres were just kind of,
it's weird, like all the ones you named and then you pulled Puddle of Mud out.
Well, like
it just
Blurry by Puddle of Mud is like one of my all-time favorite songs.
It's a great song, but it's that one, and then I Fucking Hate You, whatever that song's called.
Yeah,
I can't name another song from that.
Here's one, Saliva.
Yeah,
you know, like,
see, I grew up listening to like Silverchair, a lot of grunge music, like Pearl Jam and all that stuff was very
Pearl
prominent.
Jam, Soundgarden,
and then
Guns
that
N'
stuff
Roses
just naturally bleeded in. Probably like 6th grade, I started listening to like Green Day.
Yep.
This was before like Blink. Anybody knew? Like Blink became much more easily digestible to me because I had a history of listening to Green Day, right?
Weezer was a big band that I listened to a lot growing up.
Dude, did you see them did you see the clip of them on the Kelly Clarkson show? So it's like the 30th anniversary of the Blue album. And Kelly Clarkson sings Say It Ain't So with Rivers, and the guitar player, I want to say his name's like Patrick or something, the bald guy with the glasses, and she fucking kills it, dude. That woman sings anybody's shit and instantly makes it like way better. I don't know what it is. The only one I have that I've heard her sing that's not better than the original, she sang an Adele song, and the Adele version's better. But Kelly Clarkson, dude, she sings Say It Ain't So, and I'm like, holy shit, dude, where's this version been my whole life, dude? Like, fucking awesome.
Blue October. He's listening to Blue October.
My cousin is obsessed with them. I never got into them as much. I know they have that one big song. What is it?
They have 2.
Save Me, or is it Save Me?
They have Foiled, and then I Hope You're Happy.
Those are their 2 big ones?
Yeah.
Hate
Oh no,
Me
sorry,
is the one
Hate Me.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's off the album Foiled.
Yeah, Hate Me was the song I was thinking of.
Into the
That was
Ocean is a good song off that album as well. And
Hate
then
Me was everywhere.
How You I Hope You're Happy has one of my all-time favorite songs by them, How to Dance in Time.
So my cousin, and she's I think 6 or 7 years older than me, I think, if I'm not mistaken. She is obsessed with Blue October. She's seen him in concert at least 5 or 6 times, like just obsessed. If they came on the radio, I wouldn't turn them off, but dude, I could barely remember the name of that one song.
Alien Ant Farm.
Yeah.
Movies is my all-time favorite song by them. I could care less about Smooth Criminal, but
Smooth Criminal was the first one I heard. I'm like, what the fuck is
well,
this?
yeah, that was like their debut breakout song.
Oh,
I listened to like Static X and Power Man 5000, and like my music tastes were all over the place, and they still are. Like my music to me is a very emotional thing, so like I listen to it's kind of whatever my mood is in is what I listen to.
Yeah, I always get annoyed with people that say, "Oh, I like all music, but I won't listen to this like one genre." Right? It pisses me off because you can say you like all music, but you can't just like exile a complete genre, right? Because there's going to be the genres are so wide and encompassing, right? You could say most of the time it's I like all music, but I can't listen to country, right? There's some songs that are considered country that are close to rock songs, you know what I mean? Like they're close to pop songs.
Well, now you have
with
these
Jelly Roll now, it's like hip hop and
Jelly
Morgan
Roll,
Wallen,
and then you've got Beyonce putting out a country album, and
which hers
you've
is
got
awful, but whatever.
Post Malone putting out a country album. You got
His is
Young
awesome.
Gravy. You got Young Gravy putting out a country album.
That I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Young Gravy is?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you gotta educate yourself on some gravy, son.
I like gravy on my turkey and mashed potatoes.
You gotta listen to some Young Gravy, son.
But Jelly Roll is a big one, like the kind of merging the hip hop and the country stuff.
I love Jelly Roll stuff, man.
Did you listen to the song he did with Falling in Reverse?
Yep.
That fucking song rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Like Falling River, like Ronnie Radke's kind of going country.
Yeah.
This song's fucking rips, dude.
but
we
spent 30 minutes talking about a subject that I should not be talking about.
Dude, sorry.
I have no business talking about music.
You know this about me, right?
No, I know. I'm not saying you don't. I'm saying I have no business talking about music.
But
Zero.
I'm much more into I know more about music than I ever did about comic books or movies. I could fucking talk. This is why Jay and I get along so well. It's not our mutual love of comics. It's our mutual love of music, because he's kind of an encyclopedia too when it comes to like punk rock music and stuff. Like he was around for like CBGBs and fucking like, dude, I love talking to Jay about music. But sorry, I tend to
you're fine,
talking about
dude.
music, and I fucking go, I get nerd out a little bit, dude. It's a subject I love talking about. So if you like talking about music and you want to start a show with me and put it on this network, let me know, because that is something I've been looking for. I was pointing, not doing it. I was pointing.
I'm doing this.
Oh, hang
Shaka,
loose, bro. Yeah, but if you want to talk about music, man, I would love to do a show with you. And I don't want any fucking what's the
not
word
with me, with you listening to this in your ear holes.
Yeah,
not me, because I don't know.
Yeah,
shit.
not Matt, but and I don't want to do it with anybody that's like, oh, fucking hate it, like Ish kind of pissed me off on, and I don't care if he's listening. He posted something about Taylor Swift, and I was like, I don't understand why some of these people get hate and stuff. Like, she's a young girl that writes.
She's
her
not
own
young.
music.
She's in her 30s.
Is she?
So yes.
How the fuck did that happen?
Right?
I swear I was an adult when I found out about her, and I thought she was like 16. But okay, well, she's still a young woman that writes her own songs, plays her own instruments, which is a lot more.
Yeah, she's 34.
Jeez.
She's born in 1989. That's why she has an album called 1989.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. But So something came out where it was an article about the 20 or 10 best guitarists of the last 20 years, right? But that wasn't the original article. So a bunch of these people shared it. A bunch of these like other publications shared this article or shared the news that Taylor Swift was listed as the 6th best guitarist of the last 20 years. But the original article is the 20 most influential guitarists of the last 20 years. And influential and best are two different things, right?
I don't even think I could call her an influential guitar player.
Dude, you know how many kids have picked up the guitar because of that woman?
Okay, yeah, okay. I guess I can give you that.
Tom DeLonge is also listed on this list. Do you know how many bands Blink-182 has inspired? State Champs, Neck Deep, fucking any pop punk band that came out after Blink-182
Yeah.
started because of Blink-182. The same can be said for like My Chemical Romance, right? Any emo band or screamo band that started after My Chemical Romance would list them as a inspiration. The same with Green Day. Like Blink used to list Green Day and the Descendants. Green Day listed the Descendants before them. And so, but Tom DeLonge is not a skilled guitar player. He writes catchy hooks, but they're simple, right? So, but he inspired generations of skater kids and stuff to pick up guitars just as Taylor Swift did. I mean, how many...
the old saying is that, you know, Green Bay was the most simple band because all their songs consist of only 3 chords.
Green Day?
Yeah.
You said Green Bay.
Did I say Green Bay? No, I said Green Day.
You said Green Bay.
Green Bay. Okay.
You're a Green Bay fan. That's where your mind goes.
Yeah.
Blink-182 songs are way more simpler than Green Day songs. Some of them, like if you go in deep into Green Day songs, they can get a little bit more difficult, but Blink-182 is able to write really catchy shit more so than Green Day is. But that's why we went to that concert. I know we want to get on a different subject, but we went to that concert, Blink-182, which was awesome. And I told you, I said my least favorite song is All the Small Things, and it's the one that all these fucking kids go fucking crazy for. And it's because Tom DeLonge wrote it as a big fuck you to the record station. He hates that song. He's said numerous times that he hates that song. He wrote that song to hate that song. And now it's their biggest song ever. And I fucking can't stand that song because it really, anybody that says Blink-182 is very vanilla can just look at that song as their proof, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I digress. So,
well, I mean,
you speaking of
like,
go ahead, talk.
It's also like how much those Blink and Green Day are like intertwined in my childhood, because like you had Blink was in the first 2 American Pie movies.
You saw this when they came out, right?
They had songs. Yeah.
The confetti from the from Blink concert. I have a bunch here if you want one.
Nice. They had songs in the movie. They were in the movie. Green Day is talked about in one of my all-time favorite movies from the 90s. And Angus. Yeah, exactly.
Angus. Fuck, dude. The amount of inattention, what's the word of the opposite of attention? Avoidance. Yes, I don't know if it's avoidance because I don't think it's deliberate. That movie does not get the love it deserves. Like they haven't even released a Blu-ray of it.
I could watch it.
Dude, I've watched that movie. Couple of months. That movie has my favorite song from Green Day in the soundtrack. It's JAR for Jason Andrew Relva, and they wrote it for Dookie and thought it sounded too much like, I think it was Welcome to Paradise or something like that, and then released it on Angus. And for a long time, I owned the Angus soundtrack because that was the only way you could get that song. It's my most favorite song by Green Day. It's fucking awesome. And now it's on international super hits. But Angus is fucking classic, dude. It has that redheaded nerd kid that was in like every good 90s
He was
movie.
Also in American Pie. He The
He was
Shermanator.
the Shermanator, yeah.
Yeah.
But he was like in every good 90s teen flick from the 90s. Like I kind of look at him like the kid from Final Destination, Devin Sawa, that was like in like every good movie from that decade. But yeah, Green Day was massive. You're a Green Day fan?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want to go to the concert in September, I'm looking for somebody to go with because Max doesn't really like them.
You're not like Green Day.
I don't know.
You're a Blink fan, but you don't like Green Day. That's
I've used this argument plenty of times. Green Day was my introduction, but it's Green Day, Rancid, Smashing Pumpkins, and somebody else that I'm drawing a blank on.
That's a lineup, dude.
Tickets are like $40.
Oh, I might have to do that, especially Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah, if you're down. But just so you know, dude, I like to sit close, so they might be a little bit more expensive, but
that's fine as long as I get them early. Here's my thing. I'm not a big concert guy. Like, I don't like going to concerts because I don't like
I do
sitting there and like what happened at the Blink concert. I love Blink 182, dude, but I don't like spending all that money to go to a concert to have shitty audio. Like, well, no, that was my own fault because I waited. Because my wife wanted to get me tickets when they went on sale, and I was like, nah, I don't want to go. I'm not a concert person. But then I was like,
can I ask how much you paid?
$200
for two.
Yeah.
So $100 each.
They're about 83 a piece.
And the stupid Ticketmaster fees.
Yeah.
So did I tell you how much I paid?
How much did you pay?
$800.
Jesus Christ.
And I bought them 5 minutes after they went on sale. So that was like
fuck all that, dude.
I was face value. The last one I went to the one a year ago. I paid $400 for 2 tickets, and I wanted to be closer. So I paid, it was like $740 is what I paid. So not exactly $800, but that was including parking. So you saw where I was parked. I was right outside the fucking door. Right. So parking was like another $80 to $100. Right.
But then as the concert got closer, I was like, this could be the last time they go on tour because you never know what's going to happen, especially with Tom. You never know what's going to happen.
I don't think we're going to go through another breakup ever.
And so I was like, all right, I'll just go. I want to go. I'm just going to go. But like, I used to love going to concerts. Like as a kid, I would go, but I like the smaller venues. So where I lived in Michigan, we had a smaller venue called it's not Ground Control, like Ground Zero. It's called Ground Zero. I saw Stained there. No, it's not Stained. Sorry. I saw Static X there. I saw Saliva there. 12 Stones. Like I saw a lot of concerts there. And
12 Stones is one I haven't heard in a while.
I love those like smaller venues. And then
we have a lot of them here.
I went to a couple of concerts, bigger concerts, and I was like, nah, all right, not feeling it. Then I went to me and my wife went to the Elton John farewell concert here at the baseball stadium, and the audio was terrible.
Well, that's because it was the baseball stadium.
And I was like, oh man, I just
don't
want to spend all that money to listen to a band play live when I could just listen to it without a bunch of fucking obnoxious idiots around me.
Those stadiums are not conducive to live music. So like the Diamondback Stadium and the Coyote Stadium are probably the 2 worst venues that I've ever gone to concerts for because of the way the sound is, right? So the baseball stadium has a retractable roof, right? So the roof is metal, right? So the sound's going to suck because metal reverberates sound differently than like traditional venues, right? So the venue's it's going to sound like shit. And it's really echoey, right? When you have that much noise. And if you're listening to bands like Blink that have a lot of conflicting, there's a lot more going on than like Elton John, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's even worse. Right. So we saw Pierce the Veil with Blink 182. Pierce the Veil is one of my all-time favorites. Love them.
Their audio
and they sounded like garbage because of the venue end. They are much more suited for like a Van Buren or a Marquee Theater, right?
But
I
it's just
understand why
not
they
that
did it.
stadium. I've been seeing a lot of people, like even in the Vegas, when they went to Vegas right after here, a day later, people were saying that the opening act was something hot milk.
Yeah, well, and they're
and
like so
and Pierce
small.
the Veil's audio were awful, and then Blink comes on and Blink's audio is perfect, which it should be because they're the headliner. But it's like they need to get a better
Well,
audio guy or something.
I was talking with Max, and I'm not sure, but I know that these bands, when you're brought on as a supporting act, you also bring your own sound engineers, you bring your
Yeah.
own, right? So Blink has now they have a record company behind them. I think Capitol or Sony or something like that is their record company. So they have that behind them. They're able to put a lot more money into these things, hence the fireworks and all that other stuff. Like Pierce the Veil didn't have any of that. Pierce the Veil is a fraction of the size of Blink. They play shows like the Van Buren in Marquee Theater, right? Where I see Bayside and Thrice. Like they're that same tier. They don't have the money to buy one of these, you know, these sound engineers that are just, I've witnessed it with my own band, dude. We go from venue to venue. There's some venues we sounded awesome, and other venues where everything sounded like shit. A couple times I got in fist fights with sound engineers because we go up there and we're doing sound check, and they're like, we're gonna turn a little reverb on your voice. And I'm like, don't fucking turn on reverb on my voice. Like, don't do it, because we're already in a big fucking room and it's echoey as shit. Like, I don't want to add more echo. They're like, no, it'll sound better. I'm saying, don't fucking do it. Like, I've gotten into fist fights over sound mixing with these sound engineers. So it does play a role. And if they're not using the same one that Blink had, it's not going to be as good. Not to mention, Blink has a lot of processing that's timed into their, like a lot of processors and stuff that's timed into their set, right? Pierce the Veil doesn't have that. So there's a lot of like backing vocals and stuff that are timed into their set. And I'm pretty sure Tom also uses some sort of auto tune when he sings live too. Not sure how he does it, but I think he does. I've seen him 7 or 8 times, and there's times that I saw him when they were shitty too.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to say. I don't think they're going to break up again, because I saw them back in the self-titled days and they were like tight knit, joking around with each other. And then I saw them in the neighborhood days, right? Neighborhoods and dogs eating dogs. No, like conversing back and forth, no making fun of each other. Like something was off. And you could see, like, now in hindsight, you're like, oh yeah, duh. They were just doing this out of obligation, not out of the joy of it. Now it reminds me of when I first saw them. Like,
yeah,
they seem like friends again, and they haven't felt that way in what, 15 years.
Yeah. But all right, we've talked for 45 minutes on music.
Sorry, dude. I keep trying to change the subject. We keep drawing it back in. I'm sorry.
Today we got a trailer drop. Well, earlier in the week we got a trailer drop for Agatha All Along, the new Disney Plus show that to me looks like what Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness should have looked like if it was supposed to be horror.
Yeah. See if you agree with me. Watching that trailer, I felt like it was a mashup between like a horror movie, but like True Detective and Charmed, like pushed together. Did it feel that way to you?
A little bit, yeah.
Like some of the, like that WB style horror show mixed with like the mystery aspect of like True Detective. I think she's even a detective in the first part of that trailer.
Yeah, I'd go a little bit higher than WB though, but the horror element to me in the trailer was good. I mean, that contortion shit is always creepy whenever someone like contorts their body, and
well, that's why the Ring,
they like flip over backwards and crawl towards you. It's like, oh god.
The Ring had us all when that first came out. We're like, what the fuck? You remember that?
It's
For
still a
crawling
show
out of
I'm
the
on the
TV?
fence about because like I don't know that we really need it. But we also got a trailer today for Captain America: Brave New World, where we get our first look at that. They're finally incorporating the giant fucking celestial that's been sitting in the ocean.
I didn't even catch that. Is that in
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
Fuck.
And then you got our first look at Red Hulk from the backside, essentially.
Or at least a clay model of it.
So it leads me to believe that Marvel has got something huge coming at San Diego Comic-Con. Because not only is Kevin Feige already announcing, hey, we're going to be there. We're going to have our Hall H panel. It's going down. He's now being part of another panel from the comic book side of it. So Feige is getting in on everything going on
That's
at San Diego.
That's interesting that they're doing such a presence at San Diego, because for a couple years they kind of swore it off, didn't they?
Well, they always did their Hall H panel. And then they did the D23 stuff too.
Well, I thought like 2 or 3 years in a row they didn't do Hall H.
Well, remember, the
Last
one
year was
the
a
first
strike.
year. Last year was a strike. The year before that they did, because that's when we got Phase 5 and 6 announcements. And the year before that was COVID.
Wait, they didn't do the phase 5 and 6 at D23? I
No,
thought they did it at
it.
D23.
Nope, they did it at San Diego. Not last year, but the year before.
So where's this? So I've got the what do you call it? The video pulled up now for Captain America. What timestamp is the Celestial?
So
Like where?
it was like right. I think it was like right there. They're fighting the island that they're fighting on is the Celestial, and Sam like flies by it in his wingsuit. So like the ocean right there, they're on it.
There's Giancarlo Esposito. Oh,
right there.
Well, that was it.
Yep.
Can't you make it where this thing
It's like
runs slower? Yeah, there we go.
blink and you miss it. Right there. That's the hand.
You're sure that's him?
Yep.
That's that?
Yep.
Cool, man. Well,
And
that's
then
cool, because that's been a big gripe of ours for
where
Falcon's
Falcon's flying around it. You got your first look at Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross.
Did you like that little joke about him?
Yeah, about the mustache.
Well, also, like, it was kind of tongue-in-cheek. Is it more so about the actor changing, right? Because
yeah, he's like, I like the new look, and they was like, yeah, they told me I had to lose the mustache.
Is it Hunt? No. Shit, that's gonna kill me. What was the original actor's name?
Thunderbolt Ross. It's gonna come to me. It's coming to me. Oh my god. William Hurt.
William Hurt. Okay. What did I say? Hunt or something like that?
Yeah.
He died, and
Hunt.
Harrison Ford took over his role, right? And so the joke was kind of referencing the actor changing, and they're like, oh, you think it's because I look different? No, it's because I shaved off my mustache. So I thought it was kind of funny to acknowledge.
And
but
we got
he doesn't look like he's phoning it in.
Carlos. No. We got our first look at Giancarlo Esposito and his mystery role that everyone is assuming is field agent G.W. Bridge.
Okay,
Yes,
I don't
Washington
have
Bridge.
any idea. Is that somebody I'm supposed to know?
No, it's just a minor shield agent in the comic books. But yeah, we got our first look at that. So to me, releasing this trailer and Agatha All Along 2 weeks before San Diego Comic-Con
definitely
is a massive statement. A massive statement.
Yeah, it's definitely
they've got a
intentional.
lot to show us at San Diego. And I'm hoping that we're going to get, fingers crossed, hoping in the Hall H panel that we're going to get the announcement of who's playing Doctor Doom. And that we're going to get the announcement of Ryan Gosling as Ghost Rider. That's been swirling in speculation about.
You think you think that he's really gonna be Ghost Rider?
That, I mean, a lot of the biggest leakers are saying that he is going to be Ghost Rider.
So can I just say something? Like, there's Giancarlo. That's what I was looking for. So I love Ryan Gosling, right? Love him. He's way too pretty to be Ghost Rider, in my opinion.
Well,
Like,
because you're
Norman Reedus, like, just seemed like perfect.
Yeah, I agree. I think Norman Reedus would be a fantastic pick as well, but
he has more of that grit to him. Like, I wanted somebody that was like, looked like they were salt of the earth type guy. And I've read a lot of Ghost Rider comic books. I know that he's not so disheveled as Norman Reedus in a lot of the comics, because he's supposed to be like a stuntman and you know, kind of have that performance, you know, he's a performer or whatever. But Norman Reedus would have just been so hard, dude. That would have been so fucking awesome.
but
Ghost Rider is one of my all-time favorites. So I really hope they do it justice.
I hope we get some potential Spider-Man 4 news.
Yeah, like he actually signed a fucking contract.
I think maybe they're gonna. Well, they won't say much. Hopefully, Sony talks, because Sony's apparently going to be there too. So hopefully, we get a little bit update on Miles Morales casting or potential Miles Morales information on their live action Miles Morales movie.
They do you think
I
he's
kind of
gonna be
think
in
we're
the
going to get.
MCU or he's going to be the Spider-Man universe?
No, he's going to be the Sony Spider-Man. I
Waste.
kind of have an inkling that we're going to get our first look at James Gunn's Superman.
There's been a lot of negative stuff going on with that movie.
Yeah, a lot of it's like the way the characters look and
I think a lot of it's
costume
gonna be
choices
fixed in post, don't you?
and the fact that Clark Kent looks like he's got broccoli head.
Does he?
Yeah, if you haven't seen the set photos of him,
Has he got like curly hair or something?
Clark Kent, yeah.
What's the name of that dude? Corn Sweat. What an unfortunate name. I think I've said that on multiple occasions that he has an unfortunate name. Corn Sweat. Corn Sweat.
Corn Sweat.
No, Coren.
No, it's just Corn Sweat. Just quit trying to
I'm trying to find one. All I see is him in the suit. I don't see a Clark Kent one. Oh, is this one it? Let me see.
He's like walking through a crowd of people.
So not this one.
I don't know. I can't see. You're not presenting.
It was a little delayed. Let me try typing in Clark Kent. He's walking through people.
Just type in right there.
Which one? This one?
The Wikipedia one. Next. Nope. Up and to the left.
This
right
one.
There.
Oi. That's fucking llama hair.
Broccoli head.
You know what I'm talking about? Llama hair?
Yes.
That's what all these kids, these Gen Z kids. Yeah, this right here.
Yep.
It's the same. Ugh.
Not a fan. But, you know, we'll see what James Gunn does.
This is a much better look.
But
or even this, why couldn't they make him a little like suave or something?
I have a sneaking suspicion we'll see some of that. I'm hoping maybe we get a little bit more news and updates on Last Ronin stuff, the video game, the comic book series, or not comic book series, but the video game, the movie, kind of where they're going. Stuff like I think this is going to be a huge year for San Diego Comic-Con. It's going to be a massive Comic-Con.
They didn't give him his curl, did they? No.
I think he's kind of got it as Superman.
No, I don't see it here.
Stay tuned, though, because I will be boots on the ground at San Diego. I will be in that Marvel panel, tweeting out what's going on, recording as much as I can. We're gonna have a lot of interviews and content coming fast and furious because now I actually have a good laptop that I can edit on, so I can put stuff out as it comes out.
Did you get a good laptop?
I did get a good laptop. And then
I hate the zoom feature on this. I'm trying to get in closer to that.
Yeah, he's got the
I can't tell if that's a curl or not.
It is. But dude, look at this suit. His suit doesn't look like it fits him right.
I don't know. It looks good to me. I mean, they started doing this a while ago, this like turtleneck thing.
I'm okay with that, but like look at the arm. Look at his that would be his left arm there.
This one. Okay. I had to turn myself around just to figure it. It's my right, his left.
That arm, like look how the suit bunches up right there. It looks like it just doesn't fit him right. And there's other shots from like set photos that have leaked where his suit just it doesn't look right. Like he looks very
floppy.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see. I could understand that. I wish they were going with the old school,
like cloth.
Not cloth, but like the brighter colors. This feels very Henry Cavill to me. You can't see it because my screen's too big. This feels very Henry Cavill to me, like the muted blues and muted reds. But something like the old Christopher Reeves.
Yeah, but I don't think Corn Sweat is ripped enough to pull that off, though.
Well, I mean, Christopher Reeves wasn't like ripped.
Yeah.
I mean, judging by the photo of him as Clark Kent, like he's bulked up.
Oh, he's definitely bulked up. Yeah, but he's not like Henry Cavill bulked up. And I think where a lot of people are going to judge it because it's not Henry Cavill. So you're think you're going to get a shredded out,
I feel really
Superman
sorry for this guy. Like, because I think he's going to suffer with the same thing that Andrew Garfield went through, right? Andrew Garfield wasn't Tobey Maguire. That was the biggest downfall of his first Spider-Man movie. He was constantly compared to Tobey Maguire. In hindsight, we all love Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, right? Especially after No Way Home. But for a while, I mean, the second movie did not do that great for a Spider-Man movie, right? Did a fraction of what some of the other Spider-Man movies have done. He was constantly compared to Tobey Maguire. Tom Holland was constantly compared to Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, and finally now stands on his own. But I feel like this guy is going to go 2 to 3 movies just being compared to Henry Cavill. Because Henry Cavill was just so prototypical. Like, he looked the part, right? You can say what you want about Man of Steel, not my favorite movie, but Henry Cavill to me, like, looks like Superman. It's not hard to imagine him as Superman, but before he was, right? This guy, it's taking a little convincing. I'm not sure. I don't know him from anything either. I mean, I guess he was in what was he in? Where did he come from? The Zendaya show, right?
I have no idea. I have not heard or followed anything Corn Sweat until
I think it was the Zendaya show. Yeah, dude, is this him right here? Yeah, he's big, dude.
Yes.
He's a big boy. I thought this was Henry Cavill for a second.
Doesn't look like it though.
Here he does. This picture, I mean, that's a big boy.
Well, where he's all That's also called a pump, sir. That's like just getting done lifting weights. You're pumped.
Yeah,
You
you're a
got the
little
most pump on
swole.
your, yeah.
Is this him here?
Apparently, he's
Henry
in
Cavill
Twisters.
just has a prototypical like man body. You know what I mean? Like he just, I don't know. And the size of him seems natural, doesn't it?
Apparently, Corn Sweat is in Twisters, the new Twisters movie.
Oh, which Anna and I watched the original just the other day to prep ourselves to watch the sequel. I hear it's pretty fun. I mean, nobody thought the first one was like cinematic like masterpiece, right? It was just a fun movie going experience. The second one I heard lives up to that.
Well, that's good.
And plus, who doesn't like Glenn Powell?
Right. He's definitely becoming the new Chris Pratt.
Yeah, he just seems like a good dude. And he seems like Chris Pratt, that's what he had going for him for years, right? He just seemed like a good dude. Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Gosling, they all have that same thing, right? Glenn Powell seems like the new. Oh, Pearl was the one he was in that I saw.
Glenn Powell, you can really tell he loves doing this because he said in an interview that he was offered a role in the new Jurassic World movie and he turned it down because he said that he had nothing to offer that franchise. So it's like he knows, okay, if I don't have anything to offer here, I'm not going to take this role.
Like, yeah, it's good. Not just like taking roles to take it, like what Chris Pratt did with Garfield.
Yeah, he was good as the antagonist in Top Gun Maverick. He was good in. I just watched
he was in The Politician. This show's
Hitman,
great.
The Hitman.
Yeah, I watched
Netflix.
That. I thought that was pretty funny.
I liked it too.
The murder part is all fake, but the hitman himself is like based on a real guy.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
That Anyone But You is good except for Sydney Sweeney.
Oh, I just can't talk shit about Sydney Sweeney, man.
Hey, listen, she's got a nice body, but I just hate that she's always got bored face, dude. She reminds me of Kristen Stewart. She's always got bored face.
Yeah, I don't know. Kristen Stewart, I definitely agree with you. Have you seen this show? Apparently he's in this one.
What?
I think he plays the rich douchebag.
Pearl?
No, The Politician.
Oh, The Politician? No, I haven't.
This one's pretty good. I like this one a lot. And it's got Evan Hansen. I forget this actor's name.
He's also in
Benji. Is it Benji?
He's Benji in Pitch Perfect, but he's also an actual like musician.
Yeah. My wife listens to his stuff. Ben Platt. I was close.
Yes, there you go.
Ben Platt. Yeah, my wife. He just came out with an album. My wife likes him and stuff. But yeah, this show's pretty good. I didn't realize he was in it. But yeah, Glenn Powell just seems like a good dude. I mean, Top Gun, he didn't want to do it, and Tom Cruise had to like convince him. Like he always wanted to do Top Gun, but he was going for Miles Teller's part. Didn't get it, and they said, "Hey, we got
Goose's son."
Yeah, and then he didn't get it, and then they had to convince him to take this other role, which I think he's far more suited for, anyways. But now Tom Cruise, like they had the Twisters premiere. Tom Cruise went to the premiere for Twisters just to support Glenn Powell. Glenn Powell just seems like a good dude. There's certain guys you can look at and be like, yeah, that dude seems like he doesn't like have any weird shit in his closet. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Chris Pratt needs to start turning down some roles, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
That dude. It's like they're like, hey, we got this movie and it could be about vegetables like rolling down a hill, dude, and the dude's gonna take it. But before they even tell him what the story's about, he's gonna take it.
So to switch gears a little bit here, in other Marvel news, we're starting to get our first reaction, spoiler-free reactions of Deadpool and Wolverine. I guess there were a lot of media outlets that were offered the chance to watch the first 30 minutes of the movie.
Saying it's good.
And I'm hearing a lot of them are saying game changing. Definitely going to save Marvel. One said, no joke, I'm struggling to find any negatives. Despite the Fox merger, this feels like a straight up continuation from Deadpool 2 story. And tone wise, nothing has been toned back. All the comedy hits and the action was beautiful. Saw lots of you had a problem with the color grading in the trailer, but on screen it's so much better. And the suits are absolutely gorgeous. Another one said, the trailer hasn't given it much away at all. A majority of the footage you've seen happens in the first 30 minutes or so. Even then, a lot of that 30 minutes were things I didn't expect at all. And then,
Well, that's good. I hope that's true.
This other reviewer said, only in 40 minutes he cooks so much. The other 90 minutes is gonna send me to heaven. Pretty fun, cool opening credits. Another one said, wow, just wow, from the gritty yet groovy opening scene to the nail-biting montage of what's to come. Marvel Studios' latest offering overflows with in-your-face humor, action-packed sequences, and eye-popping visuals. While its rated R rating might be too soft or too strong for me, the dynamic pairing of Deadpool and Wolverine is a special treat for fans, casual viewers alike, offering a fresh and fierce twist amidst the usual superhero flicks. So, I mean, take that with a grain of salt, because again, that is reviewers, and they could be fluffing this, but that is promising to hear.
Yeah.
That the first 35 minutes is.
So I'm always hesitant when I hear these early reviews come in and people say it's a game changer, especially when they've only seen 35 minutes of a 2-hour movie, right? So they've seen 1/4 of it. How many movies have we gone in that seems like the first half is phenomenal and then it just goes off the rails? So I'm always cautious when I hear that, right? I think that is a bold statement to make. I also think that it's only a game changer. So Ryan Reynolds, we know, like, put his foot down several times. They were trying to pigeonhole some of this shit into this movie, and Ryan Reynolds said, fuck you, let me make my movie, right? Probably the only person in the world that could probably do that and not be a fear for Kevin Feige just kicking his ass to the curb, right? So he stood his ground and said, I'm going to make the movie I want to make. It only is a game changer if Marvel learns from this, right? So I was watching an interview with the boys, Homelander, Anthony Starr, is that? And he was talking about getting the boys and everything. He says, I've heard this term superhero fatigue. And he said, I don't think there's such a thing as superhero fatigue. I think it's just bad superhero movie fatigue, right? And I agree with that. We did talk about it, I think. I don't know. This conversation
we talked about it a few weeks ago.
So Deadpool will only be a game changer if Marvel gets out of this headspace that they've been in for 2 years now, 3 years, ever since No Way Home, at least. What's that been? 4 years?
Yeah,
roughly. It's not a game changer if they just go back to the same old shit they were doing. This thing just kind of is an outlier, right? Game changer means it's changing the game. If it's just an outlier and the rest of it still sucks, then it didn't change anything, right?
Right.
That's my fear with this movie. I think it's going to be so good, and we're going to get so amped up for whatever comes next, whether it be Captain America. I think that's what comes next, right? After
Captain America comes out in February.
And Agatha comes out in October of this year?
I felt like August.
August? That soon?
I feel like it was. I want to say it was August.
So I guess time will tell. If Agatha sucks ass, you know, I worry about the future of Marvel, especially with Kevin Feige at the helm. If Agatha sucks ass.
September 18th. I was
Oh, so
wrong.
right in the middle of the two we were saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I worry about the future of Marvel if Deadpool, because Deadpool is forecasted to break over $1 billion. The first Marvel to do that, Marvel movie to do that since No Way Home, I believe, right? And
Well,
if they don't learn from it, then
here's how do I explain it? It was kind of explained to me, and it kind of opened my eyes that a lot of these shows are written for the big screen. They're written by movie writers, they're written by people that don't know how to write TV. So
yeah,
they're
that's why they're only
made
6, 7, 8 episodes.
yeah. They're shot all at once and then cut up episodically. So they're shot like a movie, so they're made to be a movie. So that's why Marvel has since made that switch to now they have Marvel Animation, they have Marvel Television, and Marvel Studios. So they split up the divisions so that way we're going to start seeing this switch in the shows where they start feeling more like television shows, I think. And I'm not putting that much stake in Agatha because one, Agatha is a character nobody really knows. They know a little bit from WandaVision. Nobody really cares about. I think that show is going to be good or bad, but I don't think a lot's going to hinge on MCU. I think if Deadpool's going to do over $1 billion because of it being Deadpool. Like, people are so hyped for the Deadpool Wolverine thing that even if the movie sucks, people are going to pay to go see it. So I don't think Deadpool's a good barometer. I think really Captain America Brave New World is that barometer because they've reshot. They threw Giancarlo Esposito in there at the last minute. They did reshoots.
Makes me nervous.
So they had rewrites. The movie got pushed. So that movie right there, like, I guess, that movie right there is really going to be the barometer. And the other one I think is going to be Daredevil, Born Again, because they took that from what was originally supposed to be 18 episodes, and now they cut down its episode count.
They did?
Yes. I
didn't know that.
10 episodes now.
Oh, I was kind of looking forward to an 18 episode count. Because then you can actually like bite into something. That's always been my complaint when it comes to these movies or these TV shows. They don't give you enough time. Like Acolyte's almost over, which Acolyte, not a good example because it's not very good. But The Boys is almost over.
Sorry,
you feel like you haven't like wet your beak at all. You know what I mean?
Okay, so yeah, so now they're saying that Daredevil Born Again is scheduled to premiere on Disney Plus in March 2025 and expected to consist of 18 episodes divided into 9 episode halves, which will be released separately. So yeah, you're gonna get 9 episodes and then split and then another 9 episodes. I wish it was 18 episodes at once, but what are you gonna do?
I don't know why. Why isn't it? I don't know. They did that with that 90s show. Pissed me off. Yeah, I was all excited about fucking Jay and Silent Bob. Yeah,
they're not even Jay and Silent Bob.
Are they not? They just look like Jay and Silent Bob?
They just look like. So Kevin Smith is playing Sonny. He's playing Leo's son. And then I can't remember what Jay's name is, but yeah, they just look like and act like Jay and Silent Bob.
Is he really Leo's son? I thought that was a joke. I didn't think that was for real.
He really plays Leo's son, yeah.
I thought that was one of those common Leo-isms where he doesn't realize what reality he's in. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I think I really think that Daredevil is going to be that barometer for Marvel. If Daredevil and Captain America both suck,
the future looks worrisome.
Yeah.
So I agree with you, but not that Daredevil's the barometer or Deadpool's the barometer. What I'm saying though, Deadpool was going to be successful regardless. Let's see if they can carry that excitement into the following projects is all I'm saying. If they get, so they're going to go over $1 billion with Deadpool, right? Let's hope that it has positive press. Let's hope that it doesn't, you know, people have only seen the first 35 minutes. Let's hope the hour and a half after that are good, so that it can carry, you know, the hype train into these projects that follow after. But if Agatha and Captain America suck, that hype train's going to fall off really quick. They have to do something to basically, at the end of all these movies, re-engage you to get you excited for what's coming next. They haven't done that in a while.
I agree.
Right? We watch the Eternals and we're like, who the fuck cares what did come after the Eternals? I don't even know. Captain Marvel?
I can't remember.
Or the Marvels or whatever.
Shang-Chi?
Yeah, and Shang-Chi was probably the only, since No Way Home, the only like good movie that they've done. Decent movie, I guess you could say. But Shang-Chi didn't do that well because people were bored. Because they've been let down too often. Deadpool has the opportunity to you know, get people back on the train and get them excited for the next project. Kind of, you know, like how phases 1 through 4 was Endgame phase 4.
Yeah,
we got excited every time for the next thing coming out. I do think that they've diluted their market too much. I think 2 movies a year and that's all you get was enough to keep us excited.
Well, they're kind of going back to that.
Yeah, I know. Bob Iger, that's one of the good things that he's done is let's slow down how much shit we're putting out. I mean, I Chapek or whatever his name was, I mean, wanted to just push content. And we've seen how that's gone for other studios, right? When they just push content. Netflix went through it for a couple of years. Netflix was releasing bangers, and then they're like, we are just going to, every Friday, there's going to be something new, some new Netflix property. And it was just shit after shit after shit, you know, hoping that one of the 6 things that they release was going to hit. You know what I mean? Instead, let's give less and make sure that what we are giving is up to the quality that people are expecting of us.
Yeah, I agree.
So we'll see what happens, man. The next year, you know, come next July, we're going to have a lot to talk about, dude, because I think we're going to have a clearer picture of what the future of this would look like. If Captain America bombs, and we know, like, there's going to be an overhaul that comes after that. They can't, Marvel has become their biggest moneymaker, right? Because Pixar not doing well. Star Wars sure as hell isn't doing well.
On the rebound, man, with
Inside Out 2 was great.
Inside Out 2. Yeah.
Yeah, but we will see. Like the next one they come out, are they going to be able to keep that momentum going? Because Inside Out 2.
It's good to see animated movies redominating the box office, though, because you had Inside Out 2, and now you have Despicable Me 4.
Yeah, but is it doing well?
Oh yeah,
it is.
Despicable Me 4 is
doing
really well.
It's also summer vacation. There's not a whole lot to do.
So and you've had record-breaking heat all over the country, so people are trying to get away from, you know.
Inside Out 2 is Pixar's biggest movie ever. Here's the thing with Pixar 2. Have you seen it?
I have not seen it yet, no.
Pixar 2 is the first movie that I can remember in a while. Or not Pixar 2. Inside Out 2 is the first movie in a while, Pixar movie, that I can remember that doesn't have any of this controversy tied to it. Like, it's, you go there, there's no shit that I really have to explain to my kids after, like, what it is. You know what I mean? Like Turning Red had some material that required a little bit of explanation after watching that, and Strange World, and there was some stuff that needed explaining. Inside Out 2 has none of that. The only thing that, and I'm not saying that it's me, like I don't care. Like I want my kids to know about some of these things in the world, right? The only thing that I could see being any close to an issue, because it's very similar to the turning red thing, but it's a blink and you'll miss it thing. And it's done in a way that the joke only resonates with the adults that are watching it, is this whole thing is her hitting puberty, right? And
Right.
her emotions changing. They only mention the puberty thing once, and it's for a brief second, right? They don't mention what it is. There's just a button when everything starts going to shit. There's just a button there that says, in case of puberty, hit button. And they hit the button, and it's blink and you'll miss it. Nothing that my kids are like, what's that, Dad? You know what I mean? Even though I'm perfectly fine. My kids already know, my older ones already know what those things are, right? But the anti-woke sector of America has had these issues with all these Disney things coming out, right?
We've talked about this, Lance.
I'm not saying I'm not.
You're treading a fine line, Lance.
But
you're walking that
it's
line. You're walking that tightrope.
It's the first movie that they've come out with that I don't think could, on either side, could cause any sort of argument. If somebody found something, man, I'd want to know what it is they found, because I watched that movie and thought, oh, this is safe for all points of view, is all I'm saying. And it passed passes 1.25 billion mark and is Pixar's biggest movie ever. Bigger than fucking Toy Story? That's wild.
Right?
Bigger than Cars? The only reason they kept coming out with Cars movies was to push merchandise, because Cars merchandise sells better than anything else. Cars is their biggest moneymaker when it comes to movie and merchandise.
All right. Well, let's start steering this show home here.
I'm sorry. We're
you're fine. And let's talk a little bit about Star Wars, The Acolyte.
This is going to be brief, right?
Yeah, probably.
Not that I don't enjoy talking to you. I don't know if I'll enjoy talking about this.
Listen, the best way I can break down this Acolyte stuff is episode 1 and 2 are great. Episode 3 was doo-doo. Episode 4 and 5 are good. Episode 6, well, decent. Yeah. What? This was episode 6 or 7?
7? 6. I'll check. Keep talking and I'll check.
The 2 flashback episodes have been doo-doo.
The 2 young girls that they cast are a big reason for that. They're not good. And I don't have anything against little kids acting, because we've seen some good ones, right? But these 2 girls,
their direction and their predictability, and I'll tell you what I see coming. I see a switcheroo coming to where May is going to be a Jedi and Osha is going to be the Acolyte the series is talking about and be a Sith.
Oh, I completely agree with you, because
and that the one mother with the horns isn't dead. She's still alive.
The one that Soul stabs?
No, that's their mother. The one that is teaching May how to fight and basically says, let's fight. That she's not dead. Or no, sorry. Yes. The one that Soul, like, she's like,
she starts like vaporizing,
yes,
and then Soul stabs her. That's who you're talking about, not the other woman that.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I don't think she is either. I think that she exists because we never see her body fall.
Right. Well, she's like, I was gonna let Osha go.
I do agree with you with the switch though, because in the last episode, I think it was Blake Bortles. I don't remember his name.
Blake Bortles.
Yeah, I don't remember his name, but Blake Bortles says, "All I want is a Padawan." Right? That's what he says, and he's talking to Osha. I'm like, oh, this dude, because she wasn't able to tie into the Jedi stuff really. That's why she left Soul. Right? Soul was her. She was Soul's apprentice and left because she was never able to tap into it deeply. And in this episode, we see May push the other mother, right? Push her away
Stop
with
her. Yeah.
yeah. And we see that, oh, she's tied into it more than the other one. And we know that the dark side, I think the reason these guys go to the dark side is it's much easier to tap into the force, right? Because
Well,
the
so
force feeds off
the
the
way
negative energy.
well, the way the force works is that if there's less wielders of it, the stronger it is. So in this time, there's
Oh, so
more light
it's like
side.
DSL internet.
Yeah. So like this time there's more light users and there's no dark users. So
Balance.
the dark users are stronger. But I think I've come up with a way to fix this series. Okay. You re-edit this
That
series.
last one was episode 7.
Okay. So you take 1 and 2, you keep them together. You remove 3. All right. And you make 4 and 5 one episode. So they're an hour long or whatever. To where, because 4 and 5 are the battle, the Jedi battle against the Sith Lord.
Mm-hmm.
You take 3 and 7 and insert them into 6. So when Blake Bortles is talking to Osha and when Soul is talking to May, you insert those flashbacks in that episode.
Yeah, don't give
as
them
they're
their whole
talking about
episode.
the event, it cuts back to it. They don't need 2 flashback episodes.
But wasn't this last episode? It had a lot of present time in it, right? I'm trying to remember.
No, it didn't. It was all flashback. It was all.
Was it?
You saw when the Jedi landed on the planet, when they came to the castle, when they saw them, getting ready. It looked like they were going to get ready to sacrifice the two girls. They take their blood sample and get their midichlorian count, and then they find out that they were birthed through the Force. They were created through the Force, and you see all the events that took place.
This is how much it resonated with me. I
you see all the events that took place in the flashback of why May and Osha are pissed at Soul. But I think if you take that 3 and 6 episode, or 3 and 7, and you insert it into 6, so you see May's side of the story in flashbacks when she's talking with Soul at points, and you see Osha's side of the story in flashbacks when she's talking to Blake Bortles at times.
This is going to be a thing, isn't it?
It
The
is
Blake Bortles.
Blake Bortles. I want to get a shirt made with him on it. It just says Blake Bortles under it.
With him dressed as a Sith?
Yeah. Yes.
No, that'd be great.
But I think that would make the show better and the flow go better. Dude, it's just the writing in this show is so predictable, and like I'm pretty sure it was written before the writer's strike, and it's just they use so many storytelling tropes in it, and like I knew that Blake Bortles was gonna be a badass just because he was the only one on the planet, and
I texted you. I texted you and said, dude, nice job calling that one out. Like you've been right on almost every like hypothesis or like forecast that you've had about this show. So
just like I said, it's just that predictable though. And like I texted you the other day and I was like, I think Star Wars is dead, dude. Like it's
what's funny about that?
There's no innovation in Star Wars anymore. When Star Wars came out, it was innovative. It was groundbreaking. And there's no innovation in Star Wars anymore.
Yeah. I can't think. It's rehashing a lot of the same old shit. I worry that Marvel's going to go that direction too, but it's rehashing a lot of the same old stuff. They're stuck in the Skywalker stories. They come out with this, and this has been lackluster to say the least. I mean, the person that created the show said that she was set out to piss off Star Wars fans, to change, but nothing she did pissed off Star Wars fans because it was like edgy or anything.
No,
it's just poor writing. I mean,
whiny.
we're able.
It's whiny. Like this last episode, you got the Jedi leader who is like, "Oh, the council said we can't take these girls. We're to leave and leave them there." Then you got Soul who's whiny and he's like, "No, I want to train May and Osha to be Jedi. I want to bring him with us and give him a better life. Then you got the one Jedi that's like, I just want to go home. I just want to go back to Coruscant.
The
I
one
just
that
wanna
was
go home."
meditating. Was that who
Yeah,
it
the
was?
one that was meditating and died, who went out like a bitch. So it's like, what about this is it's not edgy. It's not, you're not pissing anybody off. You're pissing everybody off with whiners.
You know
And
what
Soul
pisses
is a
me off?
badass character.
Yeah, and this episode almost ruined him because they made him soft and pathetic. And what did I say after episode 2? I said Soul might become my favorite character in the Star Wars universe because he's fucking badass. Not to mention it's the guy from I almost said Suicide Squad, Squid Game, and he's a badass in that too. I said that this guy has the opportunity to become my favorite character in this
little bitch.
this episode kind of turned him into a whiny little bitch, and the strength that he showed in all the previous episodes was kind of lacking in this one.
Yes.
Yeah. But what I was going to say, how you said you sent that text and said Star Wars is dead. I thought that was funny because a couple years ago when I was on Couch Crunchers with Jay had his brother-in-law come on. And it was right after the second movie, the Ryan Johnson. Is that who it is?
Yeah, The Last Jedi.
Yeah, it was right after that came out. And we were talking about it. I said when The Last Jedi came out that Star Wars was going downhill. And it caused an argument to the point where this guy vowed to never come on our show again. He was supposed to be a full-time member. It caused such an argument that, and this is Jay's brother-in-law. Jay's like, you need to apologize to Lance because he was a dick about it, right? But he got so pissed off that I forecasted that Star Wars was going to go down the drain unless they did something quickly. And fuck, what's happened, dude? We've had how many projects come out with Star Wars since Disney's acquired it? Three
prequel movies, The Mandalorian, Ahsoka.
You had the other prequel movies, so you had 4 prequel movies.
What?
Well, the three that came out are not prequel movies; those are sequel movies.
Yes,
and then one prequel. Yeah, one prequel movie.
Sequels, and then you had Rogue One, which is the prequel movie, and then you had The Mandalorian, Ahsoka,
Boba Fett,
Andor. Which I guess a lot of people liked Andor. I didn't really care for
it. I did. I actually, Rogue One and Andor have been by far my favorite thing they've come out with.
But those are served up on a platter for you because Rogue One, like I call Rogue One the best Star Wars movie. I didn't know I needed because you already know what happens. You already know that they get the plans. You already know they die. So it's like, you know what happens. You're just seeing it play out. And
yeah, Rogue One's fantastic.
I don't know. I just don't really care for Andor. But
I just like the funny part. Is it Cassian? Is that his name?
Yeah, Cassian Andor.
I like him.
The funny part is that Max, the Star Wars guy, is in our chat, our text thread. And when I said Star Wars is dead, he didn't say a word.
Which is impressive because there used to be a time that no matter what came out, it was very much like he was with Zack Snyder. I don't mean to drum up old shit, but there was a time that he was just so into the source material, it didn't matter what came out. But he did, to his credit, he did agree Boba Fett was bad. He did agree that one of the seasons of Mandalorian was not that great, right?
Season 3.
Yeah. So he has been critical, more critical than he was of the Zack Snyder stuff. But so it's shown growth from Max. But I think that Max is a true Star Wars fan, right? He's probably more true of a Star Wars fan than anyone you or I know. I think he's probably the top of the list, right? As far as people we know, like intimately, right?
Yeah.
Like we know people outside of our. But Max is it. He's our intimately. he's typically our source when it comes to things we
You guys
don't
have
know.
touched tips, haven't you? You've played swords, huh?
Sword fight.
Yeah, that's how you know each other intimately. You've been inside each other.
You know what's funny is I say those jokes to make him uncomfortable, and
It makes you uncomfortable.
now you're saying those jokes and I'm a little uncomfortable. Yeah, the Blink
Listen,
concert.
I mean, you seem to know what's inside of him. You seem to know how hairy he is. Like, there's things about him that I don't even know about my best friend.
So he's kind of the person we go to when we don't have a answer to a question, right? And for him to say, yeah, it's not that great, is really telling of what the future of Star Wars is. You know?
Yeah.
Because there was a time that, you know, I love the Marvel movies. There was a time that I was kind of blind to it, right? Thor: Love and Thunder was the one that was like, oh, what the fuck's going on, right? Like, I was enamored by Marvel, right?
Uh-huh.
It could do no wrong in my eyes. And then Thor: Love and Thunder came out. So
I don't think, I'll go on the record saying I don't think Love and Thunder is that bad, but that's just me.
Love and Thunder is not as bad as Ish says it is.
I don't
But
think
it was
Love and
enough
Thunder
to
is as
make
bad
me. It was enough to put me on shaky ground. I didn't hate it, but
I'd rather watch Love and Thunder than Doctor Strange. I've probably watched Love and Thunder 2 or 3 times. I've only watched Doctor Strange once, and the Multiverse of Madness once.
see, I like Multiverse of Madness more. But I also like Sam Raimi's directing style. So, but I digress.
I still hold out hope for Star Wars because I think there's a lot of places that they can still go that's innovative, even with this High Republic stuff. But
well, let's map it out. There's a couple things I think that need to happen in order for Star Wars to kind of regain its foothold, right? That it had in our conscious minds, right? First thing, Kathleen Kennedy has got to go. Agreed?
I can't blame it all on Kathleen Kennedy.
No, I'm not saying it's all Kathleen Kennedy, but I'm saying that's just one of many linchpins that need to happen.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I can even blame her for that. But okay, I'll give you that.
It could be like, it could be that she's just operating under the directive of somebody else, and we don't know. You know, Bob Iger could be telling her to. I do think Bob Chapek, was it Bob Chapek? Is that his name? Were they both Bob?
Yes. I think so.
I do think a lot of the stuff Marvel's going through is because he was operating under a directive of Bob Chapek, right? So it could be that Kathleen Kennedy could just be a pawn in this, because there was a time that Kathleen Kennedy was actually coming out with decent shit. Did you know she's a producer on Twister, the original?
No, I didn't.
Her name's on there. And so there was a time that she was coming out with good shit, right? So I just think that's one of the things that needs to happen. Just a total reorg of the company, right? The second thing that needs to happen is stop hiring people to create these shows that don't have any attachment to it, right? Get people that like Star Wars. Rian Johnson and the creator of The Acolyte, I don't know if she's creator or showrunner or what, have both said they wanted to turn this thing up on its head. Don't, right? The best stuff we've gotten from Marvel is from people that actually like Marvel. James Gunn, right? The Russo brothers, they actually like Marvel. So they need to hire people that like Star Wars and understands what Star Wars is. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Quit trying to break down something. And the third thing is, it's okay to not release so much shit. Not every character needs a spinoff.
Right, I agree.
Boba Fett could have been a supporting character in Mandalorian. He didn't need his own show. The Obi-Wan show,
the Mandalorian showed up and basically stole.
He stole his own show,
and he spent half the time in a bath tank. So
and we don't need to keep diving into past shit. We didn't need as much as the Obi-Wan show was pretty good, we didn't really need it. Did it do anything for us? No. It wasn't as bad as this. But I mean, they're doing it again. Rey's getting another movie.
Yeah.
Why? Close the book.
Closing the book.
Go to something new. Right? We don't need to
Mhm.
see the same shit over and over again. Now they're talking about bringing Chris Evans and Robert Downey back for Marvel. Why? Let's go forward, right? You killed them off. Let's stay that way. I don't know, man. I just think they have to do a lot of soul searching.
Yeah. But all right, let's close the show down with The Boys. I hear that you're not liking the new episode of The Boys.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just that there used to be a time that the boys would come out and I would get so amped. And I just haven't gotten that this season. I did for like the first 2 episodes, but it's become a little bit nothing is I'm able to guess what the next things are, right? Like, so the big reveal with Jeffrey Dean Morgan being in his head didn't shock me. I think like they wanted it to.
I think everyone saw it coming from a mile away.
Yeah. And it used to be that the previous seasons of The Boys was like, holy shit, what just happened, right? Invincible does that really well. That's why I like Invincible. Holy shit. Like, that's crazy, right? Aaron Moriarty's what's the name of it? Starlight. Spoilers, okay, for the latest episode of The Boys. Starlight is captured, and a shapeshifter takes her place. So Starlight is in some bunker somewhere, and now is replaced with a shapeshifter. We learned that at the end of the episode. Who didn't see that coming? As soon as they introduced the shapeshifter, I'm like, oh, somebody on the team is getting replaced, right? Most likely candidate is Starlight because she's kind of the face.
It didn't actually hit me until the scene where Huey
That's for
and her are
selfie.
doing it.
Oh,
and I was like, yeah, that's probably the shapeshifter chick. But,
yeah,
I mean, this by far was one of the most brutal episodes of The Boys, I think, in a long time, as far as like violence goes. Like, you see Homelander rip a dude in half.
That was wild.
The shapeshifter chick is like tearing her skin off and shedding her skin as she's running from the boys.
Yeah, visually and gory, like it's all there. Like, that's easy stuff, though.
Kumiko gets her leg cut off. She gets hotter every episode, dude. Hotter every episode.
Yeah, I agree. She regenerates, right?
Yes.
So she's gonna grow her leg back.
Probably, yeah.
So
I'm assuming so.
Did you see the parallels there? So the guy that got his leg cut off infected her, right?
Mm-hmm. With the virus, yeah.
And then she in turn gets her leg cut off. I just thought that was an interesting parallel. So yeah, like the gore is there, right? But that's not really anything. That's not hard to do, right? To just amp up the gore in every episode.
Predictability in this show too. I bet you the like smart chick, I can't think of her name right now, her code name.
Oh, Sage.
I think she's gonna team up with the boys to help the boys perfect the virus to kill Homelander.
So I have a sneaking suspicion, because it seems like the boys stop Homelander every pass, right? Because they got A-Train as a mole. Like, they're able to, like, she is so smart. She's supposed to be the smartest human on Earth, or smartest person on Earth, right? That's ever lived, not just that's alive now. I think from the get-go, she always wanted to, I mean, she's black in America, right? Yeah. you know, and the little posse that she's hanging out with are very oppressive, right? A Train constantly sees it. We see it in the Will Ferrell movie when they're telling him, like, the whole movie is white savior complex, right? So I think from the get-go, all the things she was doing was to beat Homelander. And this, because she doesn't seem very surprised by anything that happens. You agree?
Yeah. She predicts pretty much everything that's gonna happen and has a counterattack for every.
So how is she not able to predict that she was going to get fired? I almost see her as like she's so smart that she can see everything 20 steps before it happens. Like chess, right? It's all chess.
I wonder how much, like, every time she lobotomizes herself, how much that affects her, and how long, like, those effects last.
Well, she did say that she regenerate. It's the only thing in her body you can't kill, right? Did she say that to the Deep? She said something like that when she was explaining to the Deep, like the lobotomizing, like why she does it. It's like it's the only time she doesn't have the pressure, and it's the only thing that can't be killed because it just regenerates or something.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know if that plays a role in it. I do think that eventually something's going to happen where she is doing that to herself, and shit's going to hit the fan in that moment, and she's not going to be able to talk her way out of it, or, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just there's only so much. I mean, that's why I lost interest in The Walking Dead, because The Walking Dead just turned into who can we kill this week? How gruesome can we make their death, or how can we shock the audience? And it just, the dialogue got kind of, I don't, like, nothing in it was surprising anymore. It wasn't the invigorating television that it once was, right? And The Boys, I feel like it's getting that way, which is probably a good thing that they're canceling, or that it's ending after next season.
Yeah.
Because I think it's, honestly, they could have added a couple more episodes to this season and just called it quits now, and I would have been fine with it, and just continue on with Gen V.
Well, they're gonna have that. They gotta have that big final confrontation with Homelander, and that's kind of what they're setting up, because you're gonna see the insurrection with Homelander, where he takes over the White House with his V'd up army. So
that's why he's holding all the V serum.
Yep.
Was trying to get it because we were talking about that today, and I understand why they're doing it, right? But they're leaning really heavily into making it so closely, in a satirical way, but they're so closely aligning to today's world climate, I guess you could say, that it comes off as, and I understand a lot of it's aligning with what the comic says, right? When he takes over the White House and the insurrection, right? That's just, it just happens to be what happened 3 years ago, right? But I do wish that they maybe didn't lean so hard into it, and at least try to be a little bit like, hey, just to remind you that this is make believe, right?
Yeah.
You watch these shows to take yourself out of reality, not make yourself more angry with your reality, right? That was my whole thing when I was texting you. I was like, all it's doing is reminding me that there's like shitty people out there, right?
Right.
Like that's all it's doing. Like all these Homelanders people, like all it's doing is reminding me that there's people that actually think like this. Firecracker, what's her name?
Firecracker.
She has said some things. I was like, oh, you're right. Fucking that sounds like it would have come straight from Sean Hannity's mouth. Like, I didn't need that in this show. Right? I didn't need to be reminded that he's an idiot. I don't know. That's all I was saying. Not because it offends me. It's just boring. Does that make more sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
No, but compared to what we were texting, does that make more sense?
Yeah, it makes more sense.
Yeah, I just wish they were like a little bit more creative instead of just like, oh, hey, look what's happening, and this is the book, and here you go. Like,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
So, but it's not to say I don't like it. I still watch it as soon as it comes out. I still am not left feeling shitty like I am after watching an episode of The Acolyte. Just kind of not, the excitement's not there, I guess.
I look at it like The Acolyte is The Acolyte is my appetizer for the week. The Boys is kind of like
your main course.
I don't even want to say maybe I'll do it like, maybe it's better to do that. The appetite the Acolyte is like my salad. The Boys is my appetizer, and House of Dragon is my main course.
Oh yeah, I can't.
Cause that show has been
that's not my cup of tea. I just can't get into that medieval. Pete Holmes, I think it was Pete Holmes. You know the comedian Pete Holmes?
Yeah.
He was cracking a joke because he's not into Game of Thrones or any of that shit either. And he cracked a joke, and I said, holy shit, that guy, he gets it. He said he's not into things that have realms. Like Game of Thrones, like this realm is attacking this realm. I now see like all the shows that I don't like, Lord of the Rings, all these things have realms. And it was the funniest thing ever. And I never I thought it was like medieval stuff. No, it's this old English realm shit.
Well, it's territory. It'd be no different than like being like the United States and Canada, or
I don't know.
United States and Mexico. It's the same thing. It's just territories.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's the mystical element of it that makes it more of a realm rather than territories. You know? I don't know. It's just not my cup of tea. I've tried. Everybody talked about how great Game of Thrones was. I couldn't get more than 2 episodes in.
You have to get through the first season. Like midway through the first season is when it gets really good.
Yeah, but I could tell from the first 2 episodes that it wasn't about the writing or anything. It's just I could tell that it just wasn't gonna be my thing. And everything I've heard after that, especially now that I've heard what the ending is, I have no desire to go watch it. You know what I mean? That's not a knock on people. Like Max has been giving me shit for years that I don't like Lord of the Rings. Can't stand it. I think it's the most boring shit ever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like the movies, but after that I'm not. I like the original trilogy, and I'm not gonna go back and watch the Hobbit stuff.
Oh, he loves The Hobbit. And I didn't hear good things about those either. Dude, Max is so obsessed with Lord of the Rings. I think he has like a 12-hour director's cut.
Yeah, I know.
And he watches it once a fucking year. Nothing in my life is that good for me to watch 12-hour director cut. I don't know. It's fine if he likes it. It's fine. I know my cousin loves that shit, but I just can't get into it. But I think the best thing that I'm watching right now that's a weekly thing is My Adventures with Superman. I'm fucking, and it's animated, which is funny because I'm not usually the animated guy. That show is awesome. And it's far too short every episode. I have to wait a week and it's like 20 minutes.
I haven't even watched a single episode of that yet.
But you're not a Superman fan, right? You told me that before.
No, I'm not.
So you may not like it like how I like it. I love Superman. The main voice, Clark Kent, is Huey from The Boys. And that show, because it's like completely just changing the backstory of Superman, I don't know what's going on half the time. It's the only show that I'm like, shit, man, I don't know what they're going to do next.
Yeah.
Which is all I can ask. It's all you can ask for in a TV show is inventive writing. Keep me on the edge of my, like, don't allow me to see what's coming next so easily.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I'll let you see what's coming next. The end of our show. That's it.
I felt like I dominated most of this conversation.
It's all good. Yeah, make sure we are, again, 2 weeks out from San Diego. Make sure to stick to all of our socials and our channel.
Yeah, we're gonna be posting a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff from San Diego.
And Matt's got a lot of cool interviews. He was telling me about some interviews that he has scheduled. What were some of those interviews you got going on, or you want to
I'm gonna keep them tight to the chest because I don't want to get people's hopes up. So
that's true. Last year we were supposed to interview Clerks, weren't we?
I can't remember what we were supposed to interview last year.
It was Kevin Smith. Chasing Amy.
A couple cool interviews last year. It was a documentary on someone who made a film because of Chasing Amy, but yeah, we were supposed to have some of that.
And then you were in the room, and then it got canceled.
Yeah, and so, but we're gonna have cool Hall H stuff. Comic-Con is back in full effect this year. I'm gonna
so
be sick.
bummed that I'm not
and
going.
And starting Monday, but this is gonna come out after that, but I'm gonna start trying to do a daily video release to get content on this channel regularly. So put out a video a day, whether it be talking about the newest news thing that dropped that day, talking about something that interests me, talking about maybe movie review, bringing back Matt and a Matinee, doing a movie review. I might do a movie review on the bike riders. Just random things to have the podcast kind of be the culmination of it at the end of the week. But just, a video a day talking about random things. So just to try and build the channel, build the community back up, and get some content on the channel regularly, more than just whenever we drop these episodes and Saturdays. So really,
then it won't be as noticeable if we miss, right?
Yeah, really trying to put focus on the channel and growing the channel, and so that's what I'm gonna do. And I want to encompass, and it's gonna be about different stuff. I'm gonna encompass everything because this is called Absolute Geek. It's not called Absolute Comics. It's not called Absolute Marvel. It's called Absolute Geek. It's about what you're passionate about.
That's why I want to do a music thing. Because
I was going to talk last week about the Dr. Disrespect allegations, but we didn't do a show last week. So I'm not going to do that because I feel like everybody on this platform has beat that to death already. So I'm going to let that slide. But yeah.
I saw he got dropped from Fortnite or something.
Oh, no, he got dropped from everything. No,
but he was a character in Fortnite or Call of Duty.
He was a character in like a Predator style game that was dropped. He got dropped from like all of his sponsors for chatting it up with an underage person.
I did want to say something because there was another YouTube personality that had some shit come out. Sketch.
Oh yeah, Sketch
shit. And I just want to say,
what's up, brother?
What's up, brother?
Special
Tuesday,
teams.
Tuesday. Yeah. Hey,
special teams, special plays, special players.
Sketch is fucking awesome. And anybody that's making that dude feel less than because of some shit he did in his past, shit that doesn't matter, shit that it shouldn't make anybody feel bad, right? If anybody's making that dude feel like shit for the things he did in his past, then fuck you, dude. Sketch is awesome. Leave him the fuck alone.
I agree.
That's all I gotta say. The guy that leaked that shit too, the guy that leaked that shit can fucking rot in hell too.
Who cares that he did fucking OnlyFans?
He did guy love videos. Who the fuck cares?
Did gay porn?
God love. No, it's What's really refreshing, I'm on TikTok a lot. You're not so much, but what's really refreshing is the amount of people that I've seen that I
Well,
follow.
let's be honest, because I watch reels on Facebook and Instagram while I'm taking a shit, so I might as well be on TikTok because it's just regurgitated TikTok shit.
Well, what I've noticed about reels and Facebook is like everything I see, I saw 2 weeks prior on TikTok.
Probably true.
So you're just getting shit late. No, but all the people, like, I haven't seen one person say anything negative about Sketch. So I was grateful to see so many positive things about Sketch. And I've never met him. I hope to one day because I think that's a really cool dude. And yeah, what's up, brother?
What's up, brother? This stuff's funny.
I did that around my work, and I had the weirdest shit happen. Like, my coworker like grabbed my finger, like she had I just wanted to see who knew. Nobody knew.
Right.
Tuesday.
Yeah. Special teams, special plays, special players.
Yeah. Sketch, we're with you, man. You're awesome. I love your content. Yeah. So I just wanted to leave it with that.
But if you like content and you like this episode and you liked our opinions, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. Make sure to turn that notification bell on so you know when we go or post videos. I was going to say go live, but when you post videos, like I said, I'm going to try this week. I'm going to put it on myself, invest in myself, and stop doing shit for, well, not stop doing shit for a job, but putting so much effort.
Yeah, you got to pay your mortgage, bro.
Yeah. Stop putting so much effort into things for other people and start putting effort into things for me. And that's going to be creating content, creating videos for you to enjoy.
When he says other people, Aaron and your 2 girls are not included in that other people.
I really
He's still gonna
want
be doing shit for them.
I'm going to be honest. I really want to own one of those like 100,000 subscriber play buttons. I want it sitting on my wall,
awesome.
Right back behind me. I want it. I want to build it. I want to do it. I'm going to go for it.
It's funny. I have the same dream about the Spotify one.
So
for the band. That'd be fucking awesome.
Putting content out regularly, all different kinds of content on this channel, so we encompass geekness and enjoying the culture together like we used to, and not just Marvel dominated, comic book dominated stuff. So if you were into music, hit Lance up to start a music podcast. If you want to do movies, let's talk. If you have something that you want to bring to this channel and you're not going to just use this channel as a stepping stone, as a certain person, an old Yinzer did. We
know a couple people that have done that to us.
Yeah. If you're not going to just use this show for a stepping stone and you really want to be part of this community and help it build and grow, hit us up on socials. Let's talk. Let's get some fresh blood.
Or channel. At the Absolute Geek Podcast at gmail.com.
There you go. So on that note, this week's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast, I'm Matt.
I am Lance.
And we'll see you guys.
What's up, brother?
Next time. Yeah. Send it out with the good old, what's up, brother?
What's up, brother? Tuesday.
All you freaks and geeks.
Special teams, special plays, special players.
Come all you freaks and geeks. Let's listen to Absolute Geek.
Absolute.
Sorry, I should have cursed there.
Spread our cheeks.
Spread the cheeks.
And drink some Cosby wine.
We'll drink some Cosby wine. It makes me feel real fine. See you next time on the Absolute Geek.